Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to clean up my Ferrari F430, which caught on fire. Oh, it's on fire. And then we're going to get it ready to sell to one of you.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan. This is my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience, buying and selling and maintaining them, DIY work on them. And today we are continuing on with the Ferrari F430 project car. Yes, it was supposed to have been sold about a week ago, and unfortunately the last day before I was going to sell it, the headers caught on fire. So we think we got some bad ceramic coating or something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen with ceramic coating. Whoa. That is not good.
We're going to figure out what went wrong, but in the meantime, we need to clean up all the stuff that went wrong because of that fire. So there's still some soot on some of these parts, and we got some goobers from the ceramic coating that sloughed off the headers. We need to get all that crap out of there. Surprisingly enough, there appears to be basically no damage other than the headers themselves. None of the wires are burnt, none of the frames damaged, none of the panels got burnt. They're just covered in soot. So we're gonna clean them up, and we're gonna make this thing actually look better than it did before the fire. So I figured that's the one thing we're gonna do is if we're gonna be taking apart all this stuff and cleaning it all up, let's make it look absolutely perfect. So we're gonna get this looking really, really good for you guys. So as of right now, this car is up for auction again. The starting bid is $85,000. Whatever it's at is whatever it's at right now. It is a no reserve auction, so whatever we get is what it's going to sell for. So first bid means basically it's sold. In order to bid, you need to register, and that costs $10. If you've already paid that $10 and already registered to bid, you don't have to pay again. Just go sign in and you can bid. So for those of you that were trying to bid on it on the first auction, don't worry, you don't have to pay me $10 again. Your registration's still valid. Also, if you have the top bid before the end of the auction, I'm going to ask for a $500 security deposit. That is non-refundable if you have the winning bid. However, if you are outbid, I will send that back to you. This way, we're going to prevent people from walking away on this car if they have the top bid. So if you don't pay that security deposit, I'm going to rescind your bid and it's going to go to the next highest bidder. So if you're interested in bidding this car, go to my website, normalguysupercar.com right now. From there, you can click on the auction and go register to bid. Best of luck to you, and hopefully you get the car of your dreams, and it's going to be in pretty damn good shape. So let's get this cleaned up, you guys. Okay, so there's the fire damaged headers, and I'm basically going to send those out and have them get sandblasted or whatever and have them get refinished. And believe it or not, someone actually already reached out to me and they want to buy them from me. We have some parts to clean up, so like there is a bunch of soot on that part, we've got soot on that part, we've got parts over there, and of course I got the under tray sitting on the other side of this car. Let's get those outside and power wash them. Okay, we've got all the parts laid out. Let's power wash them all. So with everything cleaned up, I was taking this razor blade scraper thing I've got, and you can see it actually will scrape off the coating that fell onto this plastic. So I think we're gonna be able to clean up this plastic, and it's gonna look pretty decent. It's gonna have some scratches obviously from the razor blade, but overall it's gonna look better. Maybe not perfect, but pretty darn close. And again, these bottom trays are beat up anyway. I mean, this thing's already been beat up. You know, these things just naturally get beat up. Like this piece right here is kind of already cracked up and stuff. So this soot is actually being a little bit stubborn. I have to get in there and really scrub it really hard to get it to come off. So this panel is the only one that I'm unsure of what we're gonna do with. I think I may have to replace it because you can see it's got some fraying. So the heat clearly like burn off some of the epoxy material or whatever it is that they use to make this, and you can see the fibrous kind of material sticking out, and I don't think that's acceptable. Other than that, the soot does come off with some polishing, but I don't want to have damage on that panel, so I think I'm gonna have to get it replaced. Okay, some good news finally. Look at that. All the ceramic coating came off and it didn't damage the bottom tray. Thank God. So I was really worried about this piece because getting this piece is really hard and it's very expensive, and usually shipping takes forever. So I've heard of people doing this and it's usually very, very, very expensive. Thankfully, no damage, so we are all set on this bottom tray. Well, shit, that looks so good. I think I might do the other one. Believe it or not, I took a polish that you normally use on paint, and I just put that on there and then just scrubbed the crap out of it, and it got off not only the soot but other old dirt that was on that panel. Obviously this was there before. That's some marring from that panel rubbing on
like, I don't know if it was the headers or something, but that's not from fire. Those are actual chafing marks. Damn, that looks really good. So I'm gonna do the other one, might as well. Okay, so I have a new panel for the left side ordered, since that did get some minor damage. I just don't feel right not replacing it. We've got new headers on the way, and I've got Brad from Authentic Details. He's gonna come out and actually do a major detailing of the entire engine bay, because I figure he knows how to do this way better than I do. He's gonna make it look better than it did before the fire, and that's kind of the goal. Is let's just take this as an opportunity to make it look even better than we possibly had it looking before. So that's what's going to happen next. We got to wait for Brad to come here, so probably in the next day or two we'll resume cleaning this thing up, and then we should have it ready by the end of this week. Oh, thank God.
6.5 hours later.
Okay. Remember Josh?
Told you, don't be a little bitch.
So he's inspecting stuff. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Bad news for you, it's totaled. Good news for me, I just got a bitchin' deal on a clean 430. I mean, a totaled 430.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the mess that it made in here with all the junk flaking off, as you pointed out, the only harm that I see done was the wiring harness side of the wiring down here for the wheel speed sensor, which is integrated into your wheel bearing.
Yeah.
It got melted. As you said, it looks like it didn't fuse and short it out yet, but it looks pretty ugly, and it's a super easy repair. There's nothing special about that connector. It's a generic Tyco 2-pin connector that we can get for 20 bucks. This kind of repair would be something I would do even in a factory dealership, so it's not a big deal. It would probably take about an hour or so to cut it back and run the new wires and put the new connector boot and pins in, and it'll be perfectly fine. It'll never be a problem ever again. It's gonna take you more time to scrape off all the molten lava in there than it's gonna take me to patch up that little bit of harness.
I had to do that earlier today on the under tray. The good news is it came right off the under tray.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't even melt the under tray. None of the plastic damage.
That's how bad that material is. It melted off and then just fell onto the plastic.
Yep.
It's almost like solder. You ever notice that with solder, like the piece that's hot, obviously it bonds to, but if it drips off and lands on something that's cold, it doesn't bond.
It just kind of pops off.
Yeah, you blow on it and it goes right off. It's almost like, did they coat your headers with solder? Do they not even know what ceramic coating is?
I don't know.
It's pretty wild, man. I've never seen this before.
I've never seen this or anything. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, huh?
20 years worth of working on cars, and you show me something new all the time.
I am so lucky and fortunate.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling. Of all the things that went through my mind on why your car might have been smoking horribly after doing an exhaust system, this is not one that I ever would have imagined. I've spray painted headers and exhaust paint. You know, you buy the VHT $10.
Yeah.
Like, you know, use some hokey stuff, and never had something catch fire like this before. But I've also never had headers ceramic coated and not seen them, you know, very aggressively bead blasted. Like, it almost looks like they took like Scotch-Brite and like scuffed the stainless. But anytime I've had them coated, you put them in a blast cabinet with red garnet sand, which is basically like a 60 grit abrasive, and you blast it so that nice shiny aluminum looks like grape. You know, it looks like this by the time you're done with it, because it's you know, like you notice ceramic coated headers are never smooth.
Yeah, it's always ripply.
Yeah, and that's not because of the ceramic, that's because of the texture of the metal when they blast it. I'm sure some folks blast it more aggressively than others, but I've never seen them just scuff polish like that, and I've never seen it wrinkle up and melt like that before. This is a truly bizarre result. And I've done a bunch of ceramic headers because, as you know, trying to install headers with heat shields with the metal heat shields, it's horrible. You're pulling the cats out, so you're reducing a ton of heat there anyway.
Oh, well, not here, keeping the cats.
Oh, okay. Well, even getting the pre-cats out of the headers,
pre-cats,
that reduces a ton of heat in the engine compartment. You know, even those soft blankets are quite expensive. I mean, they're almost as expensive as the headers themselves.
Over $1,000.
Yeah. Ceramic coating, it works really well, and it's such an inexpensive option. I usually recommend that first, and it's always worked really well. Good job, Normal Guy. This is a first.
Yay.
The next day.
Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday, April 28th. With the situation like this, you just kind of roll with the punches and do the best you can. We had a plan. The plan keeps getting altered. So here's where we're at, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to install the new headers. So yes, I have new FabSpeed headers, and in fact, I have FabSpeed blankets as well. So we're going to take a look at those in just a second. So again, thank you to FabSpeed. If you need any of their parts, go to fabspeed.com, use the code NGS15, and they're going to hook you guys up with 15% off. And as a reminder, no, this had nothing to do with FabSpeed. This was a local company. So don't worry, FabSpeed's stuff is safe, okay? Okay. What we kind of concluded was we were going to have Brad from Authentic Details come out and clean up the engine bay, and then we realized the cylinders were totally exposed because the headers were off. So we decided that probably wasn't a good idea because some debris or dirt or water or whatever could get into the cylinder. Just not a good idea. So we thought, let's get the headers on, let's just finish up the exhaust. And actually then what I'm gonna do is get those in and we're gonna take it out on its test drive before putting on all the panels. So yes, I still have one of those panels ordered because it did get damaged. Everything else appears to be okay, which is shocking. And then I also have Josh, he's gonna come out and rewire the one wire that looks like it may have gotten damaged, so it looks okay, but out of an abundance of caution, we're gonna have him clean that up as well. So we're just kind of going excessively on the side of caution with this whole scenario so that we don't have any risk. So let's get these headers in. Oh God, I hope this is the last time doing headers for a while, but let's get these headers in this 430, get it out on the road. Yes, the auction is live as of this video, so if you're interested in this car, feel free to go register and bid at normalguysupercar.com. All right, let's take a look at these headers. Okay, so we do have new nuts and donuts and new gaskets, and there are the beautiful headers. Oh, they look so good. Hey Mo, what do you think of those headers? You don't like the old ones, do you? They smell funny. Hey, don't lick it. Don't lick it. Don't lick it. But let's check out what's in that box. Yeah, check it out. We got header blankets. That's right. So we are gonna go probably what is the best solution for heat management. Mo is super excited. You can lick the bag. That's fine. I don't care about that. Okay, we've got all my goodies, my hardware, and all my tools that I'm gonna need assembled and ready to go. So I'm gonna crawl under there and hopefully for the last time ever, install headers on this Ferrari F430. So let's see how long it takes me. I'll set a timer up. All right, here we go. Well, it's taking me a little bit longer this time, so 41 minutes and 41 seconds, 42 minutes. And we still have to get the top bolts on the flanges and we gotta get the header blankets on, so it's going a little bit slower. We're getting there. So let's get those bolts on and let's get these header blankets on. All right, before we get the blankets, we gotta get the O2 sensor. So again, twist it the wrong way first so that the wires got less tension on it when you screw it in. Ooh, whoa, camera. Whoa, camera. Alright, we'll get the blanket over the top. Alright, we gotta get the header blanket kind of covering all of the header as much as possible. And then we use these springs, so these are what actually hold the header blanket in place. So it's gonna be a little tricky to get these through onto the other side. Hey Mo, you're right where I need to be, buddy. Yeah, I need to be right there. Okay, you gotta move. Gotta move. Good boy. Good boy, Mo. Woo! Got everything in there. By the way, it is hot already in Texas. It's really hot today. I have 2 fans, 2 ACs, and it's still hot as heck in here, but it's ready to roll. We got the blankets in, we got the headers in, we got the O2 sensors connected. Everything's connected. All we gotta do is get it on the ground, and I'm gonna leave the panels off, like I said. So we're gonna leave the panels off, and I'm gonna put my fire extinguisher in the car. Just be safe. Hopefully we have 100% less fire this time. Yeah, as you can see, those blankets look pretty awesome. They do offer a lot of heat protection, so the theory is that that keeps the heat kind of contained. It doesn't let it spread as much. I am very pleased with this. Oh, I did want to point out 2 lessons I learned with the header blankets. You could theoretically put the header blankets on before you install the headers. I don't know if that's gonna make it any harder, maybe not, because you can kind of push them out of the way to get into the bolts. So I think that might be the best solution, is put on the header blankets first. The other thing I learned was if you put on the spring on the header blankets and then smash down the little hook so it grabs the spring and the spring can't get off on just one side, then put the blanket on. So all you have to do is grab the spring and pull it and connect it to the other side. That way they're already kind of dangling, because trying to like get the thing hooked up in there, really difficult. All right, again, those are the FabSpeed headers with FabSpeed header blankets. You can get those at fabspeed.com. Use the code NGS15 to get hooked up with 15% off. Don't worry, they don't catch on fire, okay? Oh, and yes, this time again, when we start the car, it is gonna smoke, and I'm gonna say it with confidence this time, there will be no fire.
but it's gonna smoke. No fire, okay? Just so you know. And down. Yay. All right, it's ready to fire up. Let's open the garage, get out there, and we're gonna keep this with me this time. So as soon as I start it up, I'm gonna roll it out of the garage just because it's gonna be smoking a lot, and then we'll kind of let it sit there and idle and burn off the smoke. So yes, I know, it's gonna do that.
Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Yeah, you can smell that smoking pretty good. So that is the header blankets, but we'll keep that nearby just in case. More smoke. Yeah, it's still smoking pretty good. By the way, whoever buys this car, if you want it to be louder, that's the vacuum line right there. See it? Yeah. If you want it to be louder, all you have to do is pull that line and plug it up, and it'll be louder. And on this side as well. All right, still got pretty good amount of smoke, but again, no fire. It's only been about 5 minutes. We're gonna let it burn in for a while before we drive it, just to be extra safe. All right, I think it's basically ready. I mean, there's a little smoke still coming off, but it's not gonna ever burn off until you really get the load on the engine. So let's get it out there and bring the fire extinguisher and bring this camera in case something does happen, but I don't think it's going to, hopefully. Okay, got the fire extinguisher, got the camera. All right, we'll pay close attention to what's going on behind me, but it's gonna smoke. Just hopefully no fire. All right, here we go. Actually, I think because there's no bottom tray, it's venting better than it did the first time, so there's even less smoke than there was just sitting there. As soon as I stop, yeah, there's a little bit of smoke, but it's not bad. So it's definitely blowing out when we're moving. So that's the first time I've stopped, and you can see it kind of coming out a bit. And, oh, you can smell it. I definitely feel more comfortable with that when we're driving and it's airing out the smoke than when we're sitting here. Why is there so much traffic? There's not supposed to be any traffic. No one's supposed to be doing anything right now. All right, we're gonna go.
Okay, we're back from our drive, and as you can see, there is pretty much no smoke, so they're effectively burned in. It probably, my guess is it'll smoke a little bit the next few times that you really give it hell. So when you do full throttle accelerations through a few gears, it might smoke a little, but it's basically done. Also of good news, no check engine light, so everything's happy. All the temperatures are good. Yeah, there you go, as you can see. And it's a hot day out. It is very hot, and our temperatures all look very good. It's complaining about the rear deck being open. Yeah, it's almost 90 degrees today already. And also, I've been running the AC and it blows cold. That is nice. The AC works really well. In fact, I only have it on 3. Let's try on 4. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Just take a look at this. This car is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ah, man. This car's gonna make one of you very happy. I'm kind of sad to see it go, actually. Okay, so like I mentioned, this auction is live now. It is live again, I should say. So the auction will end this Sunday, May 3rd at 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm not gonna do a live for this time. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. So if you'd like to bid, go to my website, normalguysupercar.com. You have to register. If you already registered previously, then you're all set. Don't re-register. If you need to reset your password or whatever, you can do that, or just contact me and I'll help you get logged in. If you're going to be new to registering, you do have to pay a $10 non-refundable fee. That is to ward off false bids. We still have Brad coming from I Think the Details. He's going to detail the entire engine bay and get it looking better than before the fire. As of this point, all I got left is to detail it and then put on the panels. Oh yeah, and we do have one panel that's in shipping right now, so it may not make it here before the auction. This car is absolutely amazing. It is a beautiful car. It is in amazing condition. So if you're interested in bidding on it and you have any questions, please feel free to email me, Dan@normalguysupercar.com, and I'll take some pictures and all that stuff. So I'm gonna take some pictures right now, get it uploaded, get those onto the website so that when the auction is live, you can see the current status of the car and get a feel for how clean this thing is. It is truly an amazingly beautiful car, and it's a super clean condition. One of you is gonna be really happy. Again, opening bid, $85,000, no reserve. All right, guys, start bidding. Go to normalguysupercar.com. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of you that were supportive during this kind of difficult time in my life. This was certainly not what I wanted to have happen, and it's been stressful. Let's just say that. It's been stressful. We're getting through it, and don't forget, we're gonna do another project car once this thing is sold, so stay tuned for all that. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it when you guys help me out by liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. So those things help out this channel a lot. Thank you, genuinely. I appreciate it. We're gonna have a ton of car stuff coming your way. You're gonna wanna stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.